Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Take two. Welcome back to the Shadowwood Sun Show, and welcome back to another Ravenloft review. As I told you guys last time, I am going to be talking about the Ravenloft Ship of Horror module for adventuring characters of level 8 to 10. You're going to need 4 to 6 of them. I recommend a minimum of 5. And you guys know how I love adventures on the high seas. And this was definitely that. Although there could have been a little bit more adventure on the high seas, there was definitely a fair amount of it. I would have been happier to see a little bit more swashbuckling on deck, a little bit more monsters or ship encounters, that sort of thing, to really get the mood going. Most of the adventures take place on various islands. There could have been, just a little bit more of that. The adventure is basically a little bit of a scavenger hunt where the players are recovering some bodies that were disposed of improperly, creating the curse for the captain and the crew of the ship. And I'm not sure exactly how they're supposed to retrieve the bodies. It was really vague on that. Maybe a couple of potions of water breathing. Yeah, it's really not. Mind you, the bodies aren't too deep in the water, so that's okay. But I would have made it pretty harrowing to go down there in Ravenloft of all places, and you're underwater. Wow, that's nightmare plus yeah. So definitely lots there to scare the crap out of your party, but the implementation of it was a little lacking. Obviously, potions of water breathing will get it done, but that's a lot of potions of water breathing. You got 5 characters times the number of bodies in different locations. That you're going to need a serious brewmaster on board the ship to be able to get that done, let alone finding volunteers to go into the drink and wrestle with Davy Jones's locker sort of thing. But this is a very tough adventure, in so much as the big bad is incredibly overpowered. I think for a group of 4 to 6, 8 to 10th level characters, he being a 20th level necromancer, and as a necromancer, he specialist in AD&D second edition, gets a whole bunch of extra spells, one of each level that he can memorize, and you can guarantee those are going to be all kinds of horrible things. I would end up probably, if not killing the entire party with the guy, definitely turning a couple of the players permanently into some form of undead that the party would then have to deal with, or at least draining a lot of levels. Just invisibility, come up behind, drain the level, teleport out. Okay, now you're down 2 levels, and those would be off the cleric or the magic user, obviously. The treasure in this adventure is almost non-existent. I was sorely disappointed with that fact. I was having a conversation over on Hungar's show yesterday morning, and if there's no magic items, I might as well be playing some other game. If there's no real dungeons, I might as well be playing something besides Dungeons and Dragons. I know it's kind of cliche, but those are the things I personally am interested in. I can get action and adventure from any other game out there, but what Dungeons and Dragons always offered more than any other game was cool magic items. The bag of holding, the portable hold, the boat of folding, some of my favorites right there. Magic wands aplenty, not just one spell, couple of charges, but some that had multiple different spell effects. For me, that's Dungeons and Dragons, and I don't believe you get anything but like 400, 600, 800 gold per player, and at level 8 to 10, wouldn't even be worth my time. I'd be like, no, you're gonna have to do better, Mr. GM. Now, mind you, if you kill the necromancer, there's some good stuff. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, he's 20th level. He should have a fair amount of magic items. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge high magic guy, even though I run that. I get it. There is a happy medium between, total tightwaddedness and skin flintery versus total Monty Hall. And now I've done both, and I found a happy medium somewhere in the middle by literally just going by rules as written, percentages on the charts. Now, mind you, the second edition chart is absolutely awful. The percentages are the same, but the amounts of gold from first to second edition, they literally halved or lessened everything you find, which means, less treasure, less experience points for the treasure, less advancement possibilities, but all the prices are the same, if not more, for everything. Not something I was a fan of, and that's why I really never got into second edition as much as first. I would, for the most part, just use what was in second that I liked into my first edition games, because there was a good amount of cool ideas in second edition. One of the coolest ideas was, of course, Ravenloft in all its glory. There are a crap ton of adventures, and this one was actually pretty decent. Looking at it from other GM's point of views. Me personally, I had my little nitpicky issues with it that I could easily adjust and make the players, feel horror and terror to levels beyond what this goes to. It's really not that scary for a seasoned party or veteran players. They're really not going to get that sense of, peril that they really need to have in order to have the full terror effect. Spookiness, yeah, we're all adults here. We've seen it, we've done it, we've been through scarier things than this adventure has to offer, to be quite honest, until you get to the necromancer, of course, or diving into the drink looking for dead bodies. I don't know too many people out there that have actually had to do that. If you did, please don't leave a comment in the comment section, because I don't want to hear about it. No, seriously. It's not a bad adventure. It's definitely not what I was expecting, and definitely not what your players will be expecting unless they watch this video, or they played through it before, or they go out and buy their own copy, which, don't do that. Don't ruin the surprise for yourselves. There are far too many, there's just not enough surprises out there in a good way, and this one is okay. I'm not going to give it an A+, not even going to give it a B. I'd give it a C+, and it would take quite a bit of fiddling on my part to turn it into at least a B grade adventure. But they all can't be winners. I was expecting more, but don't we all? That's something I've realized, that we're always going to imagine more and better adventures and campaigns and treasure than we will probably get. So if you're going to run this adventure, go through it really carefully and find some places where you can pop in some extra stuff. Otherwise, the players are going to be left with sort of a, meh feeling when they've, everything is said and done. Real quick, let me see if I can find the big bad guy, what he's actually worth in experience points, if that's even a thing. Because I don't think you're going to get more than a couple thousand experience points for the whole adventure, even if you take out the big bad, because of dividing everything amongst the party. Although I'm not a fan of even fair distribution. That sounds like communism to me. If you kill it, you get it. If you do damage, you get it. If you don't do squat, you don't get squat. It doesn't say what he's worth, but like I said, he's got a fair amount of magic items that will, looking at him again, that should bring the XP value for the adventure up to maybe 5 to 10 grand per player, depending on who survives, of course. And that might be just what the party needs at that moment to maybe break into the next level. And we all know how much people like leveling up. But yeah, definitely, I'd say it's worth playing at least once. But to be honest, you might want to either have more lower level characters, or fewer higher level characters, just to make it more challenging. A full party of 6 10th levelers might be able to walk through this and just go, no big deal. But your mileage may vary. Let me know what you thought, if you've ever played this or if you're planning on running it. I will be doing, I believe, the Book of Crypts is next up, and I'm about halfway through, so I might get to it by tomorrow. And I can already tell you, I'm really digging that one, because it's a compilation of a bunch of very short mini adventures, which is something I'm a big fan of, so that you're not spending weeks and weeks and weeks on the same dungeon or storyline. Sometimes players get really bored these days, and they can easily go on to anything else, a video game, a movie, or something like that, and get potentially more bang for their buck. But it's definitely better than this one, I hate to say. I was really, really hoping for more, but to be honest, I know I can turn it into at least a B+, with a little bit more work. And definitely I'd run it first edition, because as we all know, first edition is the best edition of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. With that being said, I'm going to let you guys go, because I got some stuff I need to do, and that book's actually calling my name. So until next time, folks, have a great day. Get some gaming in, or do some painting or crafting, something. The season of witchery is almost over, and I don't know about you, but I'm still in the mood to enjoy this sort of Halloween experience this year. And I will see you guys real soon, and as always, happy trails.